What's going on, everyone? So the Lakers take on the Phoenix Suns, and we got to get this W. Last thing we need is to start the season 0-2. That would not be good because our schedule doesn't get any easier, right? We go after this game, we go and play Sacramento in Sacramento. Then we have a back-to-back against the Orlando Magic, and then we go and play the Clippers, right? So the last thing the Lakers want to do is get off to this season on a bad note. We lost to Denver. It sucks. I wish we would have won. To me, that game came down to just we didn't hit shots and they did. Right? If you look at everything else, all the other stats, it was pretty even. They had the same amount of turnovers. Lakers out rebounded them. Like everything was pretty close. The problem was Denver hit shots, Lakers didn't. Phoenix is another team that can hit shots. They're another team that can light it up. And guys need to step up. There's no reason LeBron James should still have to carry this team. We are too deep, too talented, have too much size, too much versatility, too many things that should interfere with, hey, we have to rely solely on LeBron James, right? We should not be a minus 14 when LeBron is off the court. That shouldn't be a thing, right? Like that's kind of a notorious thing with LeBron James led teams, right? Like those teams usually aren't very good when LeBron is off the court, but also what LeBron team period has had the depth that this Lakers team has? Like most LeBron teams are pretty top heavy, right? So we need to do this. His team is built for LeBron James. So we need to be able to allow LeBron James to do what he needs to do in the time that he's in because he's going to be on a minute restriction, right? He only played 29 minutes in that game. They say he's only going to play 28 to 30 minutes. So in the time that he's off the court, other guys need to step up. Anthony Davis, this LeBron James said publicly, this is his team. Everyone has talked about how this is his team. He just got that new contract showing that this is his team. There is zero reason Anthony Davis should score 17 points through the first two quarters and in the second half give you a goose egg. And it wasn't like he didn't get shots. It wasn't like, like they just completely, like I've seen people, they just kept out, looking away from him and not going out. But he still took shots. He got 6 attempts and went 0-6. And some of those shots were great. Some of those shots were good looking shots. He just wasn't hitting them. Right. And he wasn't as aggressive. He wasn't as physical. And, maybe he got worn down, whatever it was. And look, Jokic will do that to you. But still, like Anthony Davis has to find it. He's got to figure it out. And look, he's going up against the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix has zero people that can guard Anthony Davis. Nurk is not guarding and slowing down Anthony Davis. Right? Jokic is one thing. And he wasn't slowing down Anthony Davis. He just was a handful for Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis having to defend him on the defensive side, right? But Nurk is not that guy. Right? So there's no excuse for Anthony Davis here. I'm not saying he has to go and give us 50 and 20, but he needs to be the guy. We need to be able to rely on him and be heavy on him. Again, I don't care if he scores 30 on a regular basis, right? If the Lakers are cruising and, Lakers are dominating and AD finishes with like 15 points or 17 points or whatever, fine. That's totally okay. My problem is the games where we need Anthony Davis and he's not there. We need him to step up in those moments. That Denver game, we needed Anthony Davis. We needed him to show up and dominate, right? I don't think it's a coincidence that Jokic outscored Anthony Davis by 12 points, and guess how much we lost by? Again, just saying, right? Anthony Davis gave us 17 points, Jokic gave 29, and we lost 119 to 107. So there's your difference, right? LeBron James outmatched Jamal Murray. We needed Anthony Davis to at least be in the ballpark with Jokic for us to really have a chance to win that game. So Anthony Davis needs to be that guy. Because look, Phoenix has the firepower. It's very possible we're playing 3-on-2 as far as star power goes. Right? Bradley Beal is questionable. He's kind of day-to-day right now still. We'll see if he plays. Devin Booker, there's even talks about him, and he may or may not play. But we got to expect that they are going to play because, one, it's the Lakers, and that's how it goes, right? So if those three guys are playing, we need Anthony Davis to be the mismatch that he is. We need Anthony Davis to basically, be the counter to a great Kevin Durant game, a great, Devin Booker game, a great Bradley Beal game. I'm not saying all three of them combined, but I'm saying like we need him to at least neutralize, a Kevin Durant going for 25 or something. And Anthony Davis basically neutralizes that by giving us 25 of his own, but also defensively, he's, basically giving us the production of like Bradley Beal or something, right? Like that's what we need. We're going to need him to basically be the superstar we know he can be. But it's not also solely on just Anthony Davis. We need the other guys to step up. D'Lo, Reeves, and Rui all got new contracts also. We don't have Jared Vanderbilt again for this game defensively, which is going to hurt. But we're going to need to be able to keep up offensively. Phoenix is not going to be able to defend us. Like, if you watch that Warriors game, Phoenix looked pretty mid. And they don't have the defense like we thought. Lakers need to dominate. Lakers should be able to score at will. And we need D'Lo and Reeves to step up in that starting unit. D'Lo picked it up a little more in the second half, which was good to see. And hopefully that continues and translates into the Suns game. But Austin Reeves, right? Like, Austin Reeves didn't have like a terrible game, but he didn't have the game that we are accustomed to from him. He didn't really look as comfortable. He wasn't controlling the game the way that we've seen him be able to do. Right? If you just look at like the surface, or if like you just check the box score, you're like, he gave you 14 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, shot 50% from 3, had 2 steals and 2 turnovers. What more could Reeves have done? But then you look at it and you go, oh, he's 4 of 11 from the field. He even missed 2 free throws for a guy that shot like 90% from the free throw line last year. But also, again, he didn't look comfortable. He wasn't able to navigate the way that he usually does. He wasn't able to kind of be that momentum guy that he has been, right? We need him to kind of continue to play that role. And Rui Hachimura, man, look, I love Rui. I was talking about Lakers going and trading for Rui Hachimura before it even was a thought. Right? That's how I got the nickname Lakerdamus, all that stuff, right? But a big concern about Rui, and I've talked about it in the offseason, big concern of Rui is he is fantastic in the playoffs. Dude turns on another gear in the playoffs. It's crazy. Did it for Washington. He did it for the Lakers. Right? He is everything you want and more from Rui Hachimura when he's in the playoffs. But in the regular season, he's a completely different player. He is pedestrian. Right? And the hope was that this would be the year that it finally translates. Right? He's been working like a madman all offseason. Right? He, not only that, was working on his shot. His shot looked good in preseason. He kind of fixed the hitch and all that stuff. Been working with Phil Handy. Been just taking under LeBron James's wing and working hard with him, and LeBron sculpting him to basically be his replacement. All that stuff. We heard all the noise. We saw it all. It was great to see. Don't get me wrong. It needs to translate, right? Rui Hachimura can't be unplayable for us, right? Like, that's a problem if that becomes the case. And he essentially was with Denver. I mean, he couldn't finish at the rim. He was 3 of 10 from the field. 0 of 3 from 3, had 6 points in 15 minutes, but was completely out of sorts, man. He wasn't the guy that we have seen and know that he's capable of being. And we can't solely rely on just Anthony Davis and LeBron James. The whole point of having such a deep, talented roster is that depth and versatility translates, right? To where, if Reeves is having an off night, it's like, it's okay. You got Christian Wood, you got Gabe Vincent, you got, all Rui Hachimura, you got all of these guys, Torian Prince, whatever, right? Like, that's the point. But like, when everybody is bad, it's like, what do you do? Right? Like, again, Torian Prince was our second best player. That shouldn't happen, right? Like, if Torian Prince scores 18 points, we should be blowing teams out. If Torian Prince gives you 18, it should be, by the way, he gave us 18 and we won by 30 or we won by 20 or whatever. Like, that should be the conversation. But it wasn't. It was Taurean Prince gave us 18 and we still lost by 12. Taurean Prince is what, our 6th, 7th best player? And look, he's been great. Like, I think he's going to continue to be great. I think he's a huge pickup for the Lakers. But we need other guys besides Taurean Prince to step up. We need guys besides Taurean Prince to deliver on their end of the game, right? The new guys, they're going to take time to very likely get into the flow and the rhythm, right? Gabe Vincent was nothing to write about in that game. You know, he had 22 minutes. He was 3-8 from the field, 0-4 from 3, 6 points. He had as many turnovers as he did assists. But you can kind of give him a little bit of a pass. He's just brand new team, trying to get acclimated, got to figure it out, right? Christian Wood or Cam Reddish, right? We'll start with Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish has been great defensively. He was solid. 18 minutes, gave you 7 points, 2 of 4 from the field. Like, that's all we need from, like, the bench guys. If Vincent, Reddish, Wood, Hayes, if those guys can just give us, 7 points each a game, and then, Rui being in that 6-man conversation, Reeves and D'Lo giving us the production that we know that they can give us, you're not going to beat this team. More times than not, they're going to win the games. We'll beat the Denvers. We'll beat the Phoenixes. We'll beat the Milwaukees. We'll beat the Bostons. But we need those guys to play and show up and deliver, right? Like Christian Wood, he was solid, but he's still going to take a little time to acclimate. 15 minutes, 3 of 4 from the field, 7 points, 4 rebounds. I like that he was physical. I like that he wasn't settling. I like that he was putting his head down and being aggressive, getting to the rim, right? Doing the power dribbles and finishing strong, like using his size. Like, I love that. I love seeing that. But we shouldn't have to rely on Taurean Prince, Cam Reddish, and Christian Wood. On a game here and there, sure. It's a long season. There's a lot of games, right? There's going to be that game where Christian Wood is our second best player one night. There's going to be that game where, Cam Reddish goes off for like 25 or something, right? Like, it happens. These are basketball players. They're good. They can play basketball. But that shouldn't be a constant thing, right? And I don't think it will be, but we can't, again, we don't have much margin for error to start this season because it's so tough. Last thing we want to do is be playing catch up the entire season again. It's exhausting. It burns you out. It makes you exhausted. And then you get to the playoffs and you don't have the energy that you need to get through it all, right? We don't need that. We don't want that, right? Because there's probably not going to be a huge roster turnaround that's going to change it to where we got a bunch of now fresh faces, fresh players and stuff. Like, look, the Lakers are still trying to build chemistry. Even the new guys that returned only played like 25 games together. Like, there's a lot, right? But still, we got to lock down. We got to focus. We got to get the job done. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Do you agree? Like, other guys need to step up big. We need it. Love to hear it. How do you feel? Let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know to do these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. See you all in the next one. Thank you.